Good morning. My name is Rob Wilson. And can you tell me your full name, please? Good morning. My full name is Kate Peterson. And how shall I call you? I would prefer my first name, that is Kate. Can I see your identification, please? Thank you. That is all good. Where are you from, Kate? I am originally from Serbia, from the capital city called Belgrade. But these days, since I am studying engineering here in London, I live in the UK. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So, in the first part of the exam, I would like to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk about your friends. How often do you see your friends? I have two different groups of friends. The people I know from college, I see most days when we are studying, and sometimes at weekends. I have some good friends from my dance class as well. And we meet up for classes and often go to each other's houses. And what do you like to do when you meet up with friends? We love to chat about what's happening in our lives, and we often go into town together and walk around the shop. We spend age trying to own new clothes and giving each other opinion about whether something sweets us. Do you still have friends from when you were young? Not really. I don't see the friends I had when I was very young as well. All went to different schools, but I still keep in touch with with you. Once I meet at secondary school, and one of them is my closest friend. What qualities? What qualities do you think make a good friend? In my opinion, you should be able to trust a good friend. If you have a problem, it's always important to be able and to talk about it with someone, even if they can't offer any help. A good friend should be willing to listen, and that is what I think best about my closest friends. Anyway, let's move on. Talk about the future. Do you think you will always live in the same town or city you live in? Now, I would like to stay here, as this is where all my family live, and I would hate to be apart from them. But on the other hand, I might have to move away from my job. And so I imagine it is possible I could live somewhere else. I should think your local area will change much over the next few years, probably. Yes, we have. We have a local shopping center which has suffered a lot because the people are buying things online or traveling into the city center. Apparently, they are planning to convert the empty shops into accommodation. So that will be a big difference. And how do you think your life might be different in 10 years' time? Well, I am engaged to my partner, and so I expect I will be married by then, and I have children. Also, I hope I will be working as a software engineer because that is what I am studying any moment. So far, so are you optimistic that we will solve the environmental problems we face today? I hope so. Yes, the people realize how serious the situation is, and in the past few years, our government has started to take more steps to deal with some of the problems in our country. Moving on the second part of the speaking test, I am going to give you a topic, and I would like you to talk about it for 1 or 2 minutes. Before you talk, you have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. You can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand? And that is, do you understand? Here is your topic. Here is your pen and paper. So you can take some notes. You can start time. You can start. Time is up. Remember, you have 1 or 2 minutes for this. And so don't worry if I stop you. I will tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please? A few years ago, I visited Paris with some friends. We had a long list of things that we wanted to do and the places we wanted to see. But most important one for all of us was another other than the Paris, um, no other than Paris. If you've never heard of it, it's a large church or cathedral. It was designed by the famous architect Maurice de Sully. He was a famous bishop. We read so much about it in our tourist guides before we arrived, and the photos of it were spectacular, so we decided we had to see it, and there were lots of other things that we planned to do. So in the end, we decided to go there on the last day of our holiday. We took the subway from our hotel. And when we arrived and came out of the train station, we couldn't believe our eyes. In front of us on the other side of the road was this enormous building. It was absolutely stunning. The stained glass windows, the columns that rise up in the sky, and the stonework are unbelievable. The building is still under construction, but it didn't spoil the experience at all, unfortunately. And there were also hundreds, maybe even thousands of people who, who all wanted to get inside and to see the interior. And we decided not to queue it together. All right. Thank you. We've been talking about the subject of buildings, and I would like to discuss this subject with you with some more general questions relating to this topic. First, do you think it's important to save old historic buildings? Of course, yes, I do. There are lots of beautiful old buildings where I live that were built over 100 years ago. They include lots of public buildings that have closed down and are no longer used quite often, and these get knocked down and replaced with modern office buildings or car parks. I think it would be better to try to save them if possible. Are modern buildings as impressive as those built in the past? I think a lot of them are. The older buildings are usually built with bricks with lots of carvings on the outside, whereas modern buildings tend to be made with glass or more modern materials. So that is the fashion today. And in the future, I think that people will think and they look as impressive as all the buildings looks now. What kind of buildings are most memorable? Huge buildings like cathedrals always have a big impact on people. I think cathedrals in particular or other religious buildings are always very impressive because the architect spent a lot of time making them look beautiful inside and outside. And to what extent and do the buildings in a city give its character to be uh, mi- character? To be honest, I don't know. I haven't traveled a lot, but I have seen photos and videos of cities around the world. Some cities seem very modern because they have lots of new, shiny buildings. However, other cities like London or Paris have far more older buildings than that make them feel more historic. So yes, I suppose the buildings are important in that way. Why do tourists tend to spend so much time visiting important buildings? When you visit a new city, especially in a different country, it is our chance to see famous places. Some people go because it is something they feel and they have to do. It's like a list of things that they have to see, but other people will visit the building because it is something that they have really looked forward to seeing with their own eyes. What makes a house a home? I don't think it is what makes a house a home. I don't think it is a building that makes a house a home. Some people live in very small apartments and others in large houses, but they are all homes. It's what the people do inside that is important. If it is warm and cozy with photographs of the people we love, I think a place will feel like home. Thank you. That is the end of this speaking test.